So we're gonna move on. Akin's unpopular opinion. Um, I think I'll just let you just run with
Okay.
this.
So
You're the controversial one. I'm not that
okay.
controversial. So
Yeah, because you're
go
always
ahead.
sitting on the fence. So
I'm always sitting on the
let me
fence.
just tell our friends
Mm.
that we did not start this venture to sit on the fence. Yinka, get it together. Get it together.
No, no
We
problem.
need some opinions up in here, right? Okay. And I know that outside of this forum, you have a lot of opinions, so you need to bring it.
I do. I do. I do. I do.
Okay.
It's like Hiroshima when it comes. But
Oh my
anyway,
gosh. All right. So
let's move on.
I have to ask myself again why I'm doing this. Because last week I did it for Arsenal. I'm like the biggest Arsenal fan you'll ever meet, but I'm introspective. I like to think I'm introspective and I'm self aware. And before you abuse me, I'll first abuse myself. So that takes the sting out
Hmm.
of it. So, in the spirit of that, my unpopular opinion Nigeria are perennial underachievers. That's what I'm calling
And
it.
by Nigeria, and by Nigeria, you mean Super
I'm in the
Eagles.
Super
Let's be
Eagles.
fair.
Well, I mean, if this was
Okay.
a non sports forum, I would extend it to all of Nigeria. But
And
we're
so
going to
that's
see.
why we did it. That's why I thought. That's why I thought it's best we clarify. We're talking Super Eagles right now, okay? So that they don't come after you. We're talking
we're,
Super Eagles right now,
we're gonna
okay?
pretend like the Nigerian currency did not lose 49% of its value last year and 43% so far this year, and we're gonna concentrate on football. So the night.
Perfect. Perfect.
Let me stop.
Perfect.
Let me stop. Let me stop. So
Mm.
the Nigerian Super Eagles are perennial underachievers. Let me start by saying every time we talk about how great Nigeria is at football, we're really talking about the women. The women are fantastic. No one is better than them. They are the best in Africa. If they don't win, it's like, what happened? Um, Once Ivory Coast beat Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire now had three AFCONs. Nigeria had the exact same number of AFCONs. Okay. No one is going to look at Africa and say, oh, the greatest footballing nation in Africa is Cote d'Ivoire. No one in their right mind would ever say that. They are not. They are not. When they had their golden generation, they didn't win anything. They didn't do anything at the World Cup with their golden generation. The Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire, is not a great footballing nation. They now have three AFCONs, the same as my country, your country, Nigeria. We are a middling football nation. We're not a great football nation. But don't take my word for it. Do you mind? I'll be looking down while I go through my phone and tell you. Let's start with the World Cup. That's easier because we haven't done anything in it. So that should take about 90 seconds to get through. First, we didn't qualify. There was a time when, for reasons we'll get into in other episodes, the powers that be decided Africa didn't know how to play ball. So they only gave us one spot. And guess who never took that one spot? Nigeria. Never. Not once did we qualify when there was only one qualifier from Africa. I would have thought if we were the great footballing nation we thought we would have beat everyone to that one spot at least one time. We never did. I'm gonna ignore all the years we were under you know, the colonialists and just start from
Mm-hmm.
1962. All right, the first time Nigeria could qualify as Nigeria. The list goes 1962 did not qualify, 1966 withdrew. I don't know why they withdrew. I don't even want to know. I'm not, probably because of the Civil War. I don't know. That was before the Civil War, so I don't know. So I'm going to run through a list of did not qualifies. 1970, 1974, 1978, 1982, 1986, 1990. That's six. Six World Cups in a row. Six times four is 24 years. No Nigeria on the world stage. Big footballing nation in whose book? Stop it. All right. And then we had this fantastic team in 1994, which
Yeah.
anytime you have this conversation with Nigeria, they go back to 94. People, 1994 was 20 years ago this year. Why are we still talking about 1994?
30.
Oh, my bad. Is it 30? I can't do. I can't do math. Stop.
It's worse.
It's 30 years
It's
ago
30
this year.
years.
Yeah, I was thinking 2004. I apologize. 30 years ago. 30 years ago. 3 decades ago. That was the golden age of Nigerian football. And the golden age was preceded by abject failure on all
Yep.
fronts. So
Yep.
really, Nigeria is like failure, spike, back to failure. If we're being objective, because guess what? If this was Ghana, this is what Nigerians will be saying about Ghana. So I
Yep.
need Nigerians to start saying this about themselves, about ourselves.
Themselves.
We are not good at football. Okay, you don't believe me? Let me tell you. So I've talked about that. Let me finish the World Cup. So 1994 qualified, round of 16, got eliminated. 1998 got disgraced out of the tournament in the round of 16. 2002, the remnant of that golden age was still there. Terrible
Yeah.
team, by the way.
Horrible.
We went out in a group stage. FIFA has us finishing 27th out of 32 teams. Not great. 2006, we did not qualify. 2010, we went back, disgraced ourselves. 27th again, group stage, out. 2014 in Brazil, round of 16. Okay. We were literally 16th.
Yeah.
Literally 16th, round of 16. That means, what's that mean? We're the worst of the teams that qualified into the round of 16? Okay.
Yep.
2018. So now we've had a run of 3 straight qualifications, which is good. If that's what, you think makes you a great footballing nation.
Up until last year.
Oh, yeah.
Up until the last one, rather.
Russia in 2018, group stage. But this time we don't come 27th. We came 21st. Baby steps. Okay. All right. 2022 did not qualify. Let me tell you what's going on right now for 2026 qualifiers. FIFA, in their benevolence, have now given Africa 9 spots, right? Out of 48. This is the first World Cup that will be going to 48 teams in the
Yeah.
US,
48
Mexico,
teams.
and Canada. What has
And Canada.
Nigeria done in the 2 games they've played so far? Draw and draw.
draws.
Who did they draw against? A country that is not really a country.
Equatorial Guinea and who?
No. It was Zimbabwe and Lesotho.
Was this okay? Zimbabwe and Lesotho, yeah.
Lesotho is a tiny country wrapped up completely in another country, South Africa. I don't know the size of Lesotho. I don't care. I'm not sure there's 3 million people in Lesotho. I'll let someone check. All right, let's go to AFCON, right? So that's the World Cup. You can say FIFA was unfair, blah, 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 blah. What have we done in the Nations Cup, African Nations Cup? AFCON, my favorite tournament of all of them. So we withdrew in 1962. Don't ask me why. Our friends in Ghana, for example, were winning in 57 and 59. We didn't play. We weren't affiliated, apparently, to CAF, so we didn't play. We got knocked out in the group stage in 63. We withdrew in 65. Again, I don't know why. We didn't qualify in 68. We withdrew in 70. Still don't know why. And then we did not qualify in 72 and 74. And then comes a string. I talked about this last week. A string of third place finishes. 76, 78, third and third. And then we win our first one in Lagos in 1980. Yeah.
So before you move on,
Go ahead.
let me tell you an interesting fact about that. So we won in 80, right? I was actually born on the day Nigeria won.
Oh, I did not know that.
So maybe that's why I love football so
Maybe
much.
that's why it was always in the stars. It was always in the stars.
I ushered in the glory, the little glory days that you see of Nigerian football.
It's all up to you. Thank you.
It's all about me.
Thank you, Nka Yusuf. I was born 5 weeks before Inca was born. You know, all six. I can't do math. All right. Then we come back as champions. I think it was Libya in 1982. We come back as champions. We get knocked out in the group stage. We don't even
In
we
the
don't
group
even
stage.
proceed. All right. And then
Yeah.
84. Okay. At this point, Yinka and I are old enough to watch. We got battered in the final by Cameroon. They were so much better than us. So much better. Cameroon is let me try not to be offensive. Cameroon is small enough to be a state in Nigeria.
Yep.
All of Cameroon is small enough to be a state in
Yep.
Nigeria. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna move on. We got battered. Okay. They were so much better. They were filled with world class players and we were filled with kids.
Yeah.
1986, we did not qualify.
Yeah.
1988,
We didn't
Cameroon again.
qualify.
Not quite a battering. We went from 3-1 to a 1-0 loss. Not bad.
Yeah.
1990, Yinka's favorite coach of all time, Clemens Wenstorff,
What?
takes a
Clemens
bunch of
Westerhoff.
home based players to Algeria. We lost 5-1 in the first match. We were
In the
like
first game.
running
Yeah.
around like headless chickens. It was a disgrace. It was a disgrace. And then we somehow made it to the final and we
To
lost
the final.
narrowly 1-0. This is the story of Nigeria, by the way. This is like the West Germany of the 90s. They were just like they were runner up everywhere they went. Okay. And then in 1992, we could not figure Ghana out. Abedi Pele showed up.
Abedi Pele.
It was just
Yeah. And
better than everyone.
Aloy Agu.
It was better than
By the bare
everybody.
mention of Abedi's name, he was shivering.
It was shivering. I mean, and I'm not sure how old Abedi was in '92. It was not in his prime. He would go on to win the Champions League the next year for
But he
Marseille.
was way, way, way
It
better
was
than
better than everyone on that team.
anybody in that tournament.
Okay. 1994, remember? The golden era of
We won.
Nigerian football.
Yeah.
We win
We won that. We beat Zambia 2-1 in the finals.
in the final.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Amunike, 2 goals. We
Yes.
drew in 96 because we had a crazy idiot running the country, Abacha. And then we were banned in 98
Banned in
because of the
98
crazy
because
idiot
of that.
running the
Yeah.
country, Abacha. And then we came back in 2000. We're co-hosting with Ghana.
With Ghana, yeah.
We're co-hosting
Cameroon
with
beat
Ghana.
us in the final.
The final, I believe, was in Lagos. We played Cameroon in the
Surulere.
final. They were better than
2-2.
us. I'm sorry. They were better than us. They were better.
Nah. That's the Ikpeba penalty incident, remember?
They were better than us. Eto'o was there. Eto'o was there. What's the name of the guy? Not their central striker that was older than Eto'o. Man, it's skipping.
Which of them?
Mboma.
Was it Patrick Mboma? Yeah.
Not a world beater. Better than anyone we had that year. I don't even remember who
But
we
you
had.
had Kanu, you had Ikpeba, you had JJ, you
We
had
didn't have a
Finidi
number 9.
George.
We didn't have a
You
number 9.
You had Ikpeba. Ikpeba had
It
a good
was not
tournament,
good.
remember?
It was not good. It was not
But
as good as those
he
guys.
had an okay tournament.
It was not as
fair
good
enough.
as those guys. But anyway, and then
Anyway,
again, we now
Uh-huh.
we couldn't convert at home. We did the opposite of what Cote d'Ivoire just did at home.
Yeah.
Not a great footballing nation. I'm sorry. And then we had another string of third place finishes, which, if my memory is right, that was single-handedly Okocha just dragging a bunch of like really, really bad footballers to third place finishes. It was just him. Maybe the occasional Kanu when he decides to play. 2002, third place. 2004, third place. 2006, third place. That might have been Okocha's final. Maybe 2004 was his final. Don't quote me. None of this is important. 2008 quarterfinals. That's a disgrace. You shouldn't go to AFCON and get knocked out in a car. I don't care who you play. You should win. Another third place finish in 2010.
In 2010.
And then the biggest disgrace of all, 2012. Don't even qualify. Don't qualify. And then thank God for Stephen Keshi. Blessed memory. It was the captain in
Yeah.
In it was the captain in '94.
In '94.
He
Yeah.
and then he won as coach
Was the coach.
in
Yeah.
2013,
In 2013. Yeah.
and then
In
goes
2013, 2020.
two more editions where we did not qualify: 2015, 2017,
In 2017.
2019, third place. 2021 started with promise, lost in the round of 16 to a pretty good Tunisia team. We saw them in the World Cup. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then Cote d'Ivoire lost when we thought
In
1-0
final.
would be good enough in a cauldron. Inka Yusuf, let me close on this.
This. Mm-hmm.
I don't know who. I didn't do the research to this level. The first Nigerian to
Mm-hmm.
win African Player of the Year. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who he was. But Yakini won one, right? Yakini won one in the 90s. And then Kanu won in I'm gonna say 90, either 94 or 95. I'm not sure. Could have been 96.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We went 24 years. We went 24 years between African Player of the Year, Nwankwo Kanu, and African Player of the Year, Victor
Victor
Osimhen.
Osimhen.
In
Yeah.
those 24 years, you could not argue that Nigeria was robbed. You could not argue.
Fair point. Fair point.
Nigeria did the best player in Africa was not Nigerian for 24 years.
Yeah. Yep. No, no, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's
So sorry,
that's
that was
that's
Kanu
that's not even.
was Kanu in '99. Kanu in '99. My bad. My math is way off this episode. I'm sorry. '99 to 2003, 24 years. The best
Yep.
the best player was not Nigerian. The best players were not Nigerian. It wasn't like there was
Yep.
always one guy who was so good and then there was a bunch of Nigerians after him. There wasn't a bunch of Nigerians.
Nope.
So World Cup, we no get. AFCON, Player of the Year, What exactly do we have?
So so for me, right? It's actually. And I told this about
Oh,
expectations
you don't
and what
start
you
again.
deliver. No, 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 no. I'm actually surprisingly I'm agreeing with you on this, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
all the math, all what you said now, right? So what it comes to is in finals, right? We have a 37% win rate, which is absolutely disastrous.
Abysmal.
And in semifinals, generally, we have a 50% win rate.
Wow. Toss up.
I mean, that summarizes the whole thing. For a nation that has this number of people, we are the largest black, nation in.
237 million.
230. Well, that's even. I know we're more than that,
Yeah.
but let's even give it 237. 237. We should be churning out better footballers than we're doing, right? And I know you and I have spoken about this before. It goes back to our football administration in this country is whack.
Mm-hmm.
It is whack. What individuals are trying to do is what government should be doing, is what your sports youth and sports minister should do. You should have footballing institutions, right, in almost every key city in Nigeria. We don't have. What you have in most cases are personal individually run football clubs that are poorly run. Yeah, you and I have our own football club in
Yeah.
Ilorin. A lot of people know this. Within how many years that we've started, we've churned out more players than a bunch of people that have been doing the same thing for years.
Absolutely.
I'm doing the same thing for years. So I'm like, if we can do this with a bit of structure, removing any form of, oh, this is my junior brother, he can play. No, if you're not good enough, you're out. It's simple. There's no nepotism. But Nigerian football is riddled with nepotism. right? Under 17, bunch of those under 17 guys have one godfather that is linked to NFF or NFA or something, or people are paying to get slots, right? So even the best players are not even the ones that are being showcased,
Absolutely.
you know? So I completely agree with you. We are, if there's a word that is stronger than perennial, I will use. You had A1 in English in secondary school. I will ask you. You can tell me what's worse than perennial. I don't know what else. It's a disgrace. And somebody will listen to this and say, "Oh, but we won under 17 10 times." I'm like, dude, do you want us to wash our dirty linen in public?
Yeah, we'll try not to do that.
So let's try and not let's do that. So look at the under 17 players. You see other countries, their under 17 teams evolve into their national
Yeah.
team. In Nigeria, it's this Nations Cup that we just finished. There were, I think we counted four under 17 players, didn't we?
Osimhen,
It was Osimhen, Chukwueze, and Omero
who barely played.
that, who barely played. That's it. Every other person in that team didn't come through the Nigerian youth system. It was a diamond in the rough, identified, shipped to Europe. He became a star in Europe. Then he decided to bring him home,
Yeah. Or he was born or he
which
was
is
born in Europe.
yeah, I was born in Europe. Yeah, I was born in Europe. He went through the. So now our feeder system for our national team is our coach scouting academies in Europe to go and be looking for players and be begging them, please come and play for Super Eagles. Please come and play for Super Eagles. It's
It
embarrassing.
is. It is.
It is
We
embarrassing.
used to have quote unquote foreign based players or even foreign born players come in to supplement, what we're doing at home, right? Now you
Yeah,
can literally have a camp in Europe and you won't even need to worry about anyone traveling in from Nigeria because everyone's in Europe.
absolutely. Everyone's in Europe.
Yeah.
Everyone's in Europe. Even the Lagos that used to be the hub, National Stadium Surulere is like if you can compare it to the Bombanara, the Maracana. It's look. You when next you come to Lagos, we'll go there. It's a dumpster right now.
It's terrible.